You want to find a good book to read, then snap your fingers and follow me. At Black Girls Inc. will help you find that book, the perfect book for you to read. From black authors that look like you and me, here on Black Girls Inc. with Sister Goose and Sugar Mommy. Here on Black Girls Inc. Happy Saturday, everybody, and welcome to Black Girls Inc. Yes, Black Girls Inc. Y'all know I'm my own backup. So today I am super, duper, uber excited. Okay, and first of all, let's turn on this light because today we are going to be talking to a children's author. Yes, you heard me, a children's author. So look, mommy and daddy, come on, get in on this. Bring your baby. It's child friendly. We about to talk to a children's author today about her book. Everybody get your hands together. Let's get them fingers ready. And the babies who can, just tap. If you can't, snap. Everybody help me snap in. Dr. Devin, tell us.
Hey!
Welcome to the show. I'm so glad to have you here.
Hey!
Yes. Now, look, I got a son and a daughter, so I'm like super excited to talk about another children's book that we can add on to their library.
Absolutely.
Yes. So let's dive right on in. So, can you please tell us the title of your book and what it is about? And feel free to show it as well if you like.
Okay. So the title of my book is Who's to Say? Get in the camera so you can see. Got a little girl and a boy on the front. So Sister Goose, I have a son and daughter as well. And the main characters here are definitely made in their essence. So this is for my kids, and hopefully all kids love it. So Who's to Say is the first book in my Amazingly Affirmed children's book series. So there's two more books coming after this one. Look for those in late spring. The second one is called Always Be the Light, and the third one will be Good News, We Need More of It. So Who's to Say is a children's affirmations book, and Who's to Say is the recurring phrase throughout the book. And when you see that, Who's to Say, it's basically the world, yourself, any person who might challenge what you want to do, what you believe and dream and hope to do. So who's to say that I can't fly to the moon? Well, yes, I can, because I'm going to do everything I need to do to get there. Is sort of the premise of the book. And when I wrote it, I was speaking to my kids and other kids like them, as well as, this resonates with adults as well. We have to not get so caught up and let what other people say or think put us in a box and keep us from fulfilling our dreams and our destiny. We can't let ourselves get in the way of that as well. So in writing this, it was my hope to start training up or getting into that rhythm of positive thinking, putting positivity out there in the atmosphere, and just getting into a healthy habit of self affirming and being our own biggest cheerleader.
Yes. Look, give us some snaps for that, y'all. I was feeling all that. Yeah. So, because as writers, I love hearing the story of like how this story came to you. Did your kids do something that made you want to do this? Or was it the mommy in you that was like, we need a book to say who's the set? Like, how did it come to you?
I'd say it's a combination of things. So I have a background in education. So, with teacher stuff comes just, being in contact with different people, different kids, all backgrounds, coming from all walks of life. And, some kids come already affirmed and sure of themselves and ready to conquer the world, and some don't have that at home. And then also just as an adult, even though we might have had parents or grandparents or a village to pour into us when we were coming up, when you get older and live life and you get some hard knocks, it's hard out here adulting. And sometimes we just need to be reminded, like, okay, I'm worth it. I can do this. Never
Yeah.
mind what anybody else can say. And to compound that even more, if you're an adult with kids, you want to be the best example. So, okay, it's normal for us to feel or compare ourselves to other people or feel like we don't quite measure up, but is that what you want to pass on to your kids? Is that what you want to model for them? So, when I was writing this book, all of that was going on in my head. Like, I want my kids to know this and start this early. I want them to see that mommy can do it too, and mommy's living it out as well. So all of
Mhm.
that went into writing this book.
I love that. That's that. See, I love hearing that story. That is so beautiful. And can I say, kudos to you on the title alone.
Thank you.
Okay, because who's to say, like that phrase, it remind me of being a kid in the playground. Like, who's to say I can't jump off the swing when it's swinging up in the air? Like,
Exactly.
who's to say
It's
I
like I dare
can't
you to
go?
say that I can't. I'm gonna
Yes,
do it. Right. Exactly.
I love that catchy phrase you put on there because it reminded me of my childhood. So I just have to give you kudos for
Yeah.
that as well. Okay. Hello, Lynette. Thanks for coming to watch.
Hey,
Okay,
Lynette.
so I had to ask you what got you into writing children's books because you know obviously you're a teacher. You could have read about anything, but you chose to write children's book. Like, what made you want to do that?
I think it's just really the mom in me. I've always been a writer, so I like to write all types of things. And I'm sure that will come later, but for coming out in the beginning and starting off my published author's journey, I felt like children's books is where I was led. You know, I read a lot of books to my kids or have read a lot of them, a lot to them as they have been growing up, and we spend a lot of time in the libraries and in bookstores. So that's kind of where my heart is right now because they're in that age, age group. But I say sky's the limit for writing. But with children's books, it's important to have a message, and I think I have lots of messages to share, not only for my kids but for other kids out there. And I think that's the best. This is the best outlet for it.
I agree. I agree. I love how you say it's the mommy in you.
It
I
is.
that's just so beautiful. You know what moms hear other moms talk? That's my language.
Yes.
So I be like, yes, yes.
Yep.
So I love that. And sorry, you hear that little voice in the background. That's my daughter. But
My
I
two
love
are
that
upstairs.
because not only are you writing for your children, but you know, us as moms, we think 10 steps ahead. We writing for our children's children's children's.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So it's a legacy. It's always going to be there. So
I'm
I
glad
love
you said
it.
that
And
because legacy is important. I had that in the back of my mind too when I started creating this book and coming up with the ideas for the next book. You know, I just didn't want this to be a one and done, just, drop out there into space. I wanted it to be an important message that stuck and that resonated from here on out. And having my kids as a part of it, they were part of the journey. They have their little faces in the book. So I'm really hoping that it does turn into a legacy for them and for their children and so on, because it's just worthy of being shared.
yes, see, that's what I'm saying. Our mommy minds think alike.
Yes,
We 10 steps ahead, okay?
yes. The world is their oyster and they can definitely do anything that they put their minds to.
Yeah. So, what do you love about writing for children? Because I know for me, I'm a big imagination person. So,
Took the
so
words out of
like,
my
is that
mouth.
partly for you too?
Yes. So I was telling somebody the other day that I was that child that was really into imaginative play and just pretending up a storm, anything and everything. I didn't have to have much to do it. And it always turned into an elaborate story. So once I actually learned how to put words together and how stories work, from early as second grade, I'm writing stories, pictures, stapling, making my own books, and having my own little, book catalog. So
I know that's right.
with my kids, what my daughter is like that. She's very imaginative, and that just takes me places, and it helps, as an escape for an adult to be able to tap back into that. And so she's been my muse for that. And definitely with children's books, it's just endless opportunities to share with being imaginative and creative.
Yes, yes, yes. So, my next question for you, for all the little people who are reading your book and their parents,
Yes.
what do you want them to get out of your book after they read it?
So the biggest takeaway from my book that I hope the readers can get is that it's important to be your own cheerleader. You and I were talking earlier, and just discussing how sometimes we can get in the way of our progress, but more often than not, we let others get in the way of our progress by what they say or do, or getting caught up in maybe what they're thinking of us. So from my book, I want you guys to get in the habit of cheering yourself on, thinking positively about yourself, and being mindful of how you speak to yourself. Because if you sow seeds of positivity within, that's half the battle. Mindset is half the battle. So if you go out into the world equipped, knowing that you're worthy, knowing that you can do anything you put your mind to, then the sky is the limit.
Yes, because look, I'm so excited, okay? And I know y'all know how I am. And I cannot wait because after people's interviews, like I be buying their books right away. Like I don't just be telling authors to put their link in there for the people that are watching, but it's for me too because I'm about to read this book. And look, I'll let you in on a little tea about me, okay, Dr. Devin. Okay. I be reading my kids' children's book before they even read it for myself.
Same, same, same. Guilty.
I read it for myself and I be enjoying it. And you know how you read for your kids when they fall
Mhm.
asleep? And I'd be like, oh, mom, just finish the story tomorrow. I'd be like, okay. But then I go and I'd be running.
Exactly.
I can't
Let's
read this because I want
continue.
to know what.
Right, because you want to know what happens next. That's me, totally.
Yes, so I'm excited. I love children book authors. And I especially love women like you who are moms who are making books for Black children like mine and making the character look like my children. So when they look in the book, they be like, oh, he looks like me. Yes, he does, baby. He does look like you.
It makes such a
He
big
does.
difference.
It really, really does. Because it reminds me of my childhood when I was in school. The only book I had that the girl looked like me was Miss Mary Math,
Girl.
all dressed in black.
I had one, and I can't remember this guy's name, but he's a famous Black author that took all of the children's fairy tales and, put an ethnic twist on it. So I had Afrotina in the Three Bears. And I
Oh,
and so I bought that book myself. And so that was my first book that I remembered having brown characters. Otherwise, it was just animals, um,
right?
wonderful people, as I like to say, wonderful in there. So yeah, there's definitely a void that needs to be filled, and so I'm
Mm-hmm.
just excited to be a part of the movement to put more
Yes.
out there where the children can see, kids that look like them. Now I have some other characters in my books, but I really was intentional about making the primary characters, the characters that are mostly in the forefront, be Black and brown children. Just it's just important.
Yes. So I love it. I love it. I love that you're a part of this movement. And what I love is me as a mom, I'm gonna help you with this movement
Yes,
because
yes, yes, yes.
schools be letting parents do reading time on Zoom and they be letting us have our kids bring a book of their choice. So I be picking authors like the
Yes.
self-published authors. I'm like, baby, take this book to school and let them know that it is from your mom's podcast, you got to see the Arthur on Black Girls, and you met them and everything.
That's
You know
what's
what I'm
up. I
saying?
appreciate it. Yes.
Because
You got to get
everybody
these
can't
into the
say.
classroom.
Everybody can't
Got
say in the
to.
classroom like, yeah, this book right here. My mom interviewed this Arthur. She interviewed the person who made this book. Like, can you imagine the kids' faces in the class? Like my daughter was like,
Like,
"Mom," her eyes was like,
whoa.
"Well, yeah, I bet they was." So I'm ready for another book to add to that list. Okay,
Awesome. You got it. You got it.
we gotta help each other, y'all.
I think so.
Yeah, we gotta help each other. So, when did you fall in love with writing?
Oh, I can't remember when I have not been. Um, I guess if I had to pinpoint, it would be just playing as a child. Remember I said I was very imaginative, so things easily turned into a story for me. My parents would always take us to the library, so they had story time, they had all kinds of things. So back in the day, the library was the place to be. And I think I think that's where it started. Just seeing where my mind would take me, being able to tell people what I'm thinking of or what I'm coming up with. Just the art of storytelling came came easily for me at a young age, and I think I've just sort of rolled with that and allowed it to take me where it's taken me.
I love these answers every single time I ask people this one because you said I can't think of a moment when I didn't love writing. Like
I can't.
I,
I really can't.
that's wonderful. That is wonderful. So you are just a natural born writer.
I
Just
think
natural born.
so. And I didn't really think about it that way until I started, having different conversations with people. It was just kind of my thing that I did for myself. It wasn't, let me put this out here for the world to see sort of thing. It was just something that I did. And I never really considered it as being a big to do until, just here recently when I started linking up with different writers and sharing my story. But yeah, just as early as first or second grade, I even wrote a story for. I was on our school newspaper in second grade, and I wrote a story about snakes. I went to the zoo and did research. I got to interview the mayor one time and did a story on him. So I've been at
Wow.
it. Yeah, and my
Wow,
mom
that's
has brought us some
amazing.
rain. Yeah, it's crazy to think that I was doing that kind of stuff in second grade, but I didn't think anything of it because it was super fun. It was just me having fun doing what I like to do.
Yeah. She was a natural born writer, y'all. Give it up for the natural born writer.
Ah,
So now that your book's been out for a while and it's been in children's hand and they've been reading it, what have you been loving so far about being an author now that these childrens are reading your book? Like, how does it feel?
it's just an indescribable feeling. It's a different feeling every single time I see my book in little hands, or even if I see my book in an adult's hands or a teacher's hands, and they talk about the value that it's added. It's really humbling, and it's just like opening up a gift because you get something different every time. And I don't know. I just am so thankful to be able to have put a book out, and that people have been so receptive and warm to reading it and the message. So it just makes me excited, and it makes me excited to want to do more.
Yes, 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 yes. Okay. So we know that you write children's books. We know that you got more going on, and she's a natural born writer. So, other than that, what are other things that you do other than writing or that you're involved in?
Oh goodness. I wear many hats. So
We got
I
time.
tell yeah, most moms have many hats that they wear. So education is my background. I'm also a realtor. I
Ooh.
also have a food prep business, so meal prepping, because some people just don't like to meal prep, save time for that. Um, I my I, ugh, what do I want to say? Um, I taught foreign language, so I speak French, and so I'm a language lover. So anything that has to do with learning other languages, watching movies in other languages, traveling to different places, you know,
Wow.
post pandemic, of course. But those are my interests. I love food, love languages, and to write and to dance, all the artsy things, I guess. Just
Wow.
yeah,
I'm
just trying to
just like
get on
in
the pavement.
awe of you right now. Like you doing all this big stuff, sis. Get it. Get
Thank
it, get it, get it, get it.
you.
I love that. And look, and then she know the different languages. You need a book made called My Mommy's Superwoman. I just because you're doing it all.
It's
And
taking
that's
me a long time.
wonderful.
Cute.
I love that. Look, and my mom was like, "Oh, she's because she's laying down in the background. She's like, oh, she be doing food prepping. That's a gift. So what? Like a family of 4? Yeah. Look, she said, so what? You be food prepping for a family of 4 or just single meals?
Yeah, both. I've
Oh,
done family style meals. Most people are just kind of single people that want to do better and not eat out for work every day, at lunch.
okay.
So it kind of started with that because I meal prep for my lunch. And they're like, oh, it always looks so good. You want to make my food? Sure, because I like to cook. I like food. And then it just kind of opened up to some family style things as well. And it's been great because all of those are interests of mine, and I'm able to take what I make from those and put them into my book projects. Like it's kind of like a funnel, you know what I mean? So
Yes.
it gives me more means to do what I want to as far as publishing my book. So I'm here for it.
I, that is just, that's wonderful. So my next question for you, okay, because you was talking about being a mommy, you doing all these wonderful things. Like, how do you find the time? Because you are a woman of many hats. Like,
Oh
give
goodness.
us a little tip on what
It's
we can do for the mommies out there. How do you find the
It
time?
is a lot. And God is good for allowing me to be able to just, maneuver through it all. Um, it really does take a village to get things done. And I'll be the first to say that I would not be able to dabble in everything that I do without a great support system. I have awesome
Yeah.
parents, awesome in-laws. My sister is great. Everybody who can help me when they can, they do. And they believe in me and they support my dreams and visions. So without them, I wouldn't be able to do any of that. My husband will deliver meals for me. It's just all of those people helping and without me having to ask have allowed me to be able to flourish in these different areas. So with that and just kind of first making time for myself so that I can fill my cup and be all of these things.
Yes.
Then secondly, just kind of, prioritizing and scheduling. My family's always going to come first, and I'm going to try to schedule all of these other things around them so that I can, be where I need to be.
I agree. I agree. Oh, we have someone who says hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey,
Christina.
Dr. Christy.
Yes. Look, I always make sure when we get comments, I make sure I put them up just in case it's one of your people. We don't
Yes,
want to
Christy.
miss out on no support.
Christy and I are actually going to be doing a virtual book tour coming up here on April the 17th. So look for us to go live for that. It'll be on April
Okay.
17th. So yeah, we're doing a collaborative effort. So I'm super excited about that. She has a great books as well.
Okay, when you got that flyer, share it with me so I can announce it again on the
Will
show.
do.
Okay,
Will do.
got you. That's what's up. I love that. Hey Emma, welcome. I I gotta make sure. Look, I'm taking in all your notes, and I'm working on that. I'm good at putting my family first and everything else, but I gotta work on that, making that time for me.
Yes,
You
it's a
know what
work
I'm
in
saying?
progress. I'm not good at that, but I know it has to be done. It's
Yes, I'm working on it myself. So keep me in prayer, and I'm gonna pray for you, and you pray
yes,
for me. We're
please.
gonna make time for ourselves.
Yes, we got to. We got to.
Yes, because I swear something happened when you become a mom. It's like something happened where that switch of time for self just went off, and you
Oh
gotta
yeah.
reprogram it.
You become a totally new person. You got new priorities. little people to take care of. So it's just kind of like, me who? And we don't want it.
Exactly. Me.
Yeah. You don't want it to be that way, but it just happens naturally.
Yeah, look, we write me a grown-up children's book called Me Who. I'll take that.
Noted. Noted.
Me Who. I love
Noted.
that. So thank you for giving us that Tito on your upcoming virtual book tour. Can't wait for
Yeah.
that. So other than that, because on here on Black Girls Inc., we like to get the tea. Everybody get them tea hands ready. We like to get the tea on authors, on things that they working on, or stuff that's coming up. So what's next for you? Like, you want to give me some tea? Because my cup is empty, and I'm willing to have you, pour a little tea in it to fill it. And I'm a little thirsty. So what's next for you, Dr. Devin?
So, okay, well, I mentioned the book tour that we're going to be doing with Dr. Christie, and there's 5 other authors that'll be partnering with us as well. So I'll
Ooh.
definitely be sending you the flyer for that. It's celebrating the Week of the Child. But I think Dr. Christie is a counselor, so it's tied into all of that stuff for kids. So we'll be doing that. I mentioned to you earlier that my next 2 books are going to be coming out here very shortly. So keep in mind that Always Be the Light will be out before April is up. And to follow will be Good News. We Need More of It. So I'll be excited to come back and share that with you guys. And other than that, I think on my horizon, what I'd like to work on is maybe doing some bilingual versions of my books.
Ooh.
Something like that, or maybe just something that has to do with French in a book that's not,
That's
school
different.
stuff. Yeah. So I'm brainstorming about how I can use that and share that, because a lot of kids, I think, would like to learn a foreign language, but it's all in the approach. I would rather do it I don't want to say sneaky, but in a way where they're learning it and they don't know that they're learning it. So that's what
Look,
I've been sort of thinking about.
girl, make this book because I'm gonna send it to my kids' school because they big on learning different language. They
Okay.
learning Spanish and Turkish. Okay.
Oh, that's awesome.
So come on and make this book so I can send it to their Turkish and Spanish
Absolutely.
teacher.
The earlier the better. I started at age 4 with French at my school, and
Yes.
it have been doing it ever since. So now is the time. Like, this is when they're sponges. Just sneak it on in there. It'd be great.
Yes, because my kids' school's big on learning language. So when you do that book, let me know because I'm not parent that going to help you get up in the dough. I'm gonna help you get it.
Love it.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes. Us Black parents have to support you Black authors. And my goal, like with Black Girls Inc., we want y'all to get up in our schools. I want y'all in our
I would
schools.
love some school partnerships. I've
And it
been
take and it take us parents to help y'all. You know
It
what I'm
really does. I
saying?
was gonna say the process, and it's just getting your foot in the door. I'm sure they get a lot of people to approach them about different things. So it's nice to have parents to have vetted
Yeah,
you and speak on your behalf, so that you're a stakeholder. So they would be more likely to engage if you guys
exactly.
say things. Yeah.
And so when I talk to my daughter's teacher and stuff, and she reads it and let the kids know that they can get it themselves. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Us Black parents. If you so want these books in your children's schools, it take us to back up the Black authors who's making the books.
Absolutely.
So talk to the teachers, get involved with the school, and be like, teachers love to read books that
Yes.
people bring in. And you can say, my daughter loved this book and we know the author and all that. Like, can you read it? It don't take much, parents. Let's support our Black children authors
Amen.
because I'm tired of
Absolutely.
just reading about animals. Okay. I'm
Yeah.
tired of reading about animals and other
It's
people being a
old.
princess and we not.
Yep. It's old. Real old.
Look, you said yes, yes. What you
Tell
saying,
me.
Emma? My grandson's father is. I'm trying to
Haitian.
read
Oh,
this.
that's
Tell him
awesome.
so he's leaving that language. Okay, see. So we supporting you. We saying we need this language book. Okay, give her some snap, y'all.
Yes. Motivation. Yes, I gotta
We,
do it.
we need
Gotta do
this
it now.
book. I,
Gotta do
I
it.
totally agree. So I'm very excited for that. And I'm going to use it for my daggone self to learn some language. Okay.
Do it.
So, what do you want your readers, little readers, and the parents to know about you as the person? What do you want them to know about you?
Oh, wow. I guess just in keeping with the theme of the book, I'm a person just like you with dreams and goals. And there's nothing special about me except that I believed in myself and stepped out there and did it. And you can do it too. So we all have that common thread. And if you need that little extra push, you can dig down deep inside and step out there and just take a leap and look what happens.
Yes. Okay, so last question before tea time is, can you, because we believe in, sharing our knowledge and what we learn with other authors. So for other people who wants to start a children's book or is new at it and starting their process, what tips would you give them about being a children's author?
Oh goodness, there's so much. I've learned so much in such a short period of time. I would say, I guess, two things. Start with a plan in mind. Just don't get out there and be flailing around. Like have an end goal in mind, what you want to accomplish, and maybe an outline of how to get there. I'll say three things. Secondly, try to surround yourself with a supportive group of people. So align yourself with some people who are maybe already doing some things on the journey to writing their books that you want to do. And you'll be surprised at how many people would be willing to share what they've learned along the way or what to do or what not to do. And then lastly, I would say do your own research. So don't take everything that everybody says as gospel. Research yourself so that you don't have any setbacks because you are new, or green to things. Because there's still people out there that will try to take advantage of that, and you want it to be a positive experience.
I totally agree. I'm snapping for that. Them
Yeah.
was some good gems. Thank you. Thank you. Y'all new authors better take notes on that if you want to write some children's books. So she gave y'all some straight up good gems right there. All right. We are about to get into tea time, but before we do, I got to make sure I remind my authors that Black Girls Inc. is doing an authors raffle for our private book club. Okay, we looking for a good book to read. And all you gotta do to get your book in that raffle is cash at Black Girls Inc. 20, $10 to get your book in the raffle. And the
Awesome.
deadline is April 30th. So if you have a friend or anyone who's a Black author who wants to get their book in the raffle, share this information with them. We looking for a book to read and give some reviews to. This is a wonderful opportunity for Black authors, and I can't wait to see what book we gonna read for the book club. I'm so
Yeah.
excited. I can't wait. I can't wait too, because don't worry, children, your time will come.
Yes, that'll be exciting.
Yes. So, with that being said, it is our favorite time of the show, which is tea time. For those of you who do not know what tea time is, it's when we take the author's book and we make a topic off of it that we talk about freely, whether it's the title, a phrase they use, a moment that happened in a book and we bring it to life, or even something just about the character. So, you ready to do tea time with us, Dr. Tevin?
Absolutely.
Yes, so I love this tea time question. We came up with it together, y'all. So, the tea time question based off of Dr. Devin's book is, what is your, hold on, what's your who to say moment?
What's your who's to say moment?
What is your who's to say moment? So I'm going to give an example. All right, for those who are watching now and on the replay, y'all like, what the heck she mean? What's my who to say moment? I'm going to tell you. Who's to say that Barbara, because that's my real name, can't do no podcast and then come live and do interviews with Black authors and not make it out here? Who's to say that? Because honey, I just did, and I'm doing it right now, and I'm the stuff, and now everybody know me by Sister Goose. So who's to say I couldn't do that? That's my who to say moment. That's your example. So, Dr. Devin, what's your who's to say moment?
Who's to say that I couldn't be a children's book author?
Because she did that.
With a message coming to you live.
What'd you say, Mama? Look, my mama said, who's to say she couldn't be a grandma and a teacher too? Because she doing it right now.
That's right.
She doing it right now. Hello? Yes. So, and look, I'm about to be putting that. I'll be putting this on Instagram. I have to make a little clip of who's to say moment, okay? Because that's how we need to be. I love how we can use what your book is even for adults, because we need to think that way. Who's to say, y'all? You can't tell me what I can do and cannot do. Only I and God can tell me that.
Oh my goodness, there's a page in my book that's almost those exact words.
I know. Look, you can read us that exact page if you want. Go right ahead.
I will read you this exact page. You've been looking over my shoulder into my book. Okay, let me read this page because you just spoke the same words. It says, now who really is to say what I can or cannot be, who I can or cannot be? Why not a singing, dancing, motivational speaker, a prize-winning writer, or a world-class athlete? Why not a game-changing boss who is equally smart and friendly? Or simply a beautiful soul with goals and dreams? Hold on, there's one more page, but I want to show you this. There's a compass, because we go where we go.
Yes.
And the next page says, to answer that question, why, no one, of course, not a single person. At the end of the day, absolutely no one is to say. No one except for me. Only I can say what I can or cannot do. Only I can say what I am or what I am not.
I know.
Yes.
I know that's right. I know that's right. Look, y'all know I'm a shouting person. I be feeling them stories. When I'm feeling something, I gotta say it. Look, Emma answered too. She said, who's to say I couldn't be an author 4 times in Amazon.com? Right, say that, Emma. Look, if you watching now or on a replay, I'm about to put this on my post on Facebook and Instagram. Who's to say? Okay?
Hashtag.
I'm gonna hashtag you on there, and I'm gonna add you. Who's to say? Nobody but me.
That's right.
So, tea time for those who are watching and was feeling this tea time question and like, yeah, who to say, and getting all hype with Sister Goose. If you getting all hype about who's to say, then you need to get your babies hype too and order them this book. That's so you can tell them who's to say right there, okay? Nobody but them. So I'm going to give Dr. Devin the time to let you know where you can purchase her book, her website, and her social media, whatever she wants you all to know. I'm going to give her the floor. The mic is yours, sis.
Thank you. So I do have an author's website, and it's DEVEN Creates.com. And I'll let you type that out later so everyone makes sure they can spell my name.
I'll put it in the link. I'm going to put it all in the link after the interview. I got you.
So on my website, you can find out more about me, more about my book and the upcoming books. If you'd like to get an autographed copy, for a special little person and have me, address it to them personally, my website would be the place to order that paperback copy. If you are just a, 2-day shipper kind of person, my book is also available in soft and hardcover on Amazon. But be mindful that autograph or personalized option is not available on Amazon. So either of those 2 places is where you can order my book. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram, I am at Dr. DEEMTEE. And also at Quintessential Books, which is for my publishing company, where I just highlight different books and authors and parts of the writer's journey. So I'd be glad for you to connect
Yes.
with me.
Yes. And I put that website right up in there. There, everybody go. Make sure you go to that website. Yes. Make sure y'all go and get that book for your babies because I love it. I'm about to get mine. I'm gonna
Yeah,
get mine.
get it for the little ones
Yes, my
and
my
not so little
kids,
ones. Everybody.
my kids will love it. I want to thank you so much for coming on the show today. You
Anytime. This has been
really,
so fun.
I'm so glad. Look, I told you when we started. I said you may have some fun, girl. Told you we was gonna have some fun.
Yes.
I really enjoyed having you, and I want to thank you so much because it took books like yours to encourage me, even now as an adult, and just that who's to say phrase. That's going to be in my mind all day and for the rest of my life. When somebody try to say something negative to me, when somebody try to make me doubt myself,
That's right.
and second guess myself. Now I'm going to remember what Dr. Devin said in her book. Who's to say,
Okay.
Sister Goose? Who's to say? Nobody but me. I'm going to remember that. So thank you so much for
You're
being an
welcome.
encouragement and reminding us that.
We all need it. Yes.
Yes. Everybody, please make sure you go and support Dr. Devin and purchase her book. And don't just purchase the book, but if you love it, make sure you leave a review. Let her know how you feel about the book. Let her know
Please
if you
do.
like it. Let her know what you hope the next book got in it. Let her know something. Just leave
Yes.
something in the review.
Feedback is
Okay?
everything. Yes, please.
Reviews are important. And that's what we need. All right. So leave her a review. Well, it's that time, y'all. Y'all know I hate when we got to go, but we got to.
Sad times.
Yes. So Black Men's Inc. will be back here today. They will be live at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So save that time if y'all want some Black Ink. Come on back. Black Men's Inc. will be live right here at 7 p.m. Eastern time. I am your girl, Sister Goose, and this is Dr. Devin. And show them your book one more time, sis, and tell them what it's called.
Who's to say?
Yes, make sure you go get that book today, and her info will be in the comments later on after this, so you can just click it and go there. All right. I'm your girl, Sister Goose, and we are Black Girls Inc. Snap you later.